Are you an introverted or an extroverted dresser? Welcome to this live. It is a great feeling coming live to you. I'm joining you, whether you were joining me on LinkedIn or whether you're joining me on YouTube. You can participate in this live through the chat, and I will be seeing those pop up. There's actually a capacity for me to see that whether you're on LinkedIn or whether you're on YouTube. And it's great to be in this moment. It all comes together and you think, oh, it's actually worked. Here I am. Let's go. So today we're talking about who dresses better in high profile roles, introverts or extroverts. The chat is open, very interested in your comments or opinions or questions. There are certainly some stereotypes around introverted and extroverted dressing. And there's this idea that introverts dress in a simple, subtle, very thoughtful way, and that extroverts dress in a bold, expressive, and unconventional way. I don't know if you feel like that captures the stereotypes that you have in your own mind. I'd love to hear in the comments. So yeah, let's talk about which approach is best from a style point of view. My name is Nina Fountain and I'm the executive stylist. I give women in leadership the power of style. We are all fascinated by the difference between introverts and extroverts. To be in a leadership role, you need to have a degree of self-awareness around your own approach to yourself and to others, to lead others and to self-lead yourself. Self-manage, do we call that self-leadership? And we're also fascinated by what it means to dress well in a high-profile role. And there are, we are quite familiar with looking at the way women dress when they're in a high-profile role, and some of us have spent a lot of time working out what makes that work. So welcome to the conversation. What is introverted and what is extroverted dressing? And now these extremes are actually pretty hard to find in a real life person. I have found that there are 12 main style personalities. And when you look at the 4 main traits, which determine our style differences, that's where you can see these personality differences coming up, and you can see that reflected in style. So in my style synergy types, 2 of the 12 types are particularly extroverted, and 2 of the style synergy types are particularly introverted. Now, if I'm really clever, I'll be able to actually bring those up for you and show you what they are, because I would love you to see this difference. The vibrant dynamo and the dynamic luminary are the ones that we're going to have a quick look at. And these 2 types are very extroverted. So let's see if it will allow me to share that with you. And I just need to, I think, stop sharing that one. Replace that with something else. Here we go. An image. And oh yes, I can do that. This is great. Thank you for bearing with me. I won't be long because they're right here. And it was really exciting to pull these types together because they're so explanatory for what is unique and distinctive about at least 1 out of 12 people's style. And so this is the dynamic luminary here. And oh, she's a little bit, there we go. She has 3 key dimensions to her style. They are vibrant energy, bold inspirations, and dynamic individuality. And then the other very extroverted style is this vibrant dynamo. And so also a dynamic energy to her, bold statements that she includes in her fashion, and then a sense of animation and lightness comes through. And so there are, you can see the boldness, the dynamism, and there's slight differences between the 2, but they are our classic extroverts. The difference is mainly in the role of that inspiration and the individuality. And then we have 2 types out of the 12. Again, remember there are 12 types when you look at these 4 main traits and how they play out in our style. So there are two types that are also particularly introverted, and due to the wonders of technology, I'm going to be able to show you those as well, and that is just awesome. These types are, I found very interested in their style, which is really fun. We often have quite long conversations about their style. And I can do the same. If I did the trick once, I know I can do it again. Here we go. So we're going to replace. Yes. So here's, yeah, look at that. Okay, she's back. The graceful elegant is a style where her key dimensions, so the style is really characterized by effortless chic, by ordered elegance, and by graceful lines. And then the comfort-loving sophisticate. And her style is characterized by composed elegance, meticulous order, and effortless comfort. And so there are some distinct differences between the two. Both have a really strong sense of order and graceful elegance, but one is more inspired by flowing lines and the other is meticulously focused on detail. If you're curious about your type, you can find out your style synergy type using the quiz link in the description. But my point here is that there are 12 types, 12 style personalities, but only 2 that are really strongly introverted and 2 that are strongly extroverted. So as we think about who dresses better in high-profile roles, it's worth keeping in mind that most people are a mix of both traits. They're not extremely extroverted or introverted. They may lean one way or the other, but there's sort of a combination of both. And I certainly relate to that myself. I've decided I'm an ambivert for sure. I am energized by being around people, but then there comes a point where I really need my own space to be re-energized. And that is the distinguishing feature of whether you're extroverted or introverted. Are you energized by being around people? So that might be why we don't get many women in the media talking about whether they are introverted or extroverted. So it's really difficult to use media examples to see how does style connect with personality. Like people you would think are extroverted call themselves introverted. People like Oprah and Amy Schumer, and so she wouldn't be the first comedian who said she's actually an introvert, but the fact that Oprah calls herself an introvert was a real surprise to me. So people who we might think are extroverted or introverted, we can't necessarily use them for examples. So what I'm doing here today and what I'm sharing with you is actually built on what I've noticed from working with hundreds of both powerful and everyday women. And they're women who need to make a difference, who are turning up to make a difference in the world. They need to be trusted in their role above all. They're not actors and performers who have to be seen to be entertaining. And so I think if we looked at actors and performers, we would think most of them are extrovert a lot of the time. So let's have a look at an example of a classically introverted outfit. And I'm going to, again, replace that for you. Okay. And this is the point where you just feel relief, hopefully, that it comes up. Or it doesn't. Yes, okay, that should be right. If I remove that, and if I, oh, no, that hasn't worked. So I'm going to show it to you. I think I could probably show it to you on my phone. Is that another way to do it? Thank you for bearing with me. Oh, please just get a cup of tea. Come back in a second. It won't take that long. Yeah, it's so exciting to see these examples. And if this doesn't come up for you, I will come back with them. We'll come back to this. We'll absolutely come back to this. And it looks like we're going to need to come back to it. I wanted to show you a couple of examples, an introvert and an extrovert. If we try this again, but we move that along, you would think that it's going to... Oh, here we go. Fantastic. Okay, so you should now be able to see an extrovert. Thank you for bearing with me for probably about a minute there. This is an extroverted outfit. So we classically extroverted in terms of, I would see it as something that the vibrant dynamo or the dynamic luminary would wear. It looks fantastic on her. The lines are flattering. The color combination, that contrast is really striking, eye-catching, and the shaping is perfect for her figure. There's a beautiful connection between the purple and the orange. The materials are very similar, so there's a whole connection in that look. Let's have a look at another one. So exciting now this is working. And another extroverted outfit. And this lady, you might imagine her, she's perhaps the CEO of a marketing agency, someone in a creative industry. She's somewhat bucking the corporate, the classic corporate look, and communicating some creativity here. This looks fantastic on her because we're seeing this personality coming through, this much more lively, not buttoned up. And then in terms of the shapes and the colors, there's a beautiful connection there. Obviously the matching top makes that easy, matchy. And she's done a nice subtle contrast there with the white and the black that is a little eye-catching as well. So let's have a look at a couple of introverted outfits. And hopefully you can see, yes, her. And so this actually looks fantastic on her. It's sleek. It's beautifully aligned with her figure. This flattering boat neck cut. And then the pared back minimalist, take no prisoners attitude is coming across beautifully in this outfit, and it flatters her figure so nicely. And then we have another one here, and this looks great. This is a nice pairing. There's a cool kind of creative shoe that she's put with an otherwise corporate outfit, someone who is taking it seriously, but perhaps in a slightly more casual context. The black is a little dominating for her, as a blonde woman, to wear black and white is quite high contrast. So that in terms of style, I think we could tone down the color a little to get that to be more flattering for her. And so now the question is, who is dressing best, and is introverted or extroverted better? And so what they all have in common is all of these are stylish outfits. The question is, which are you most drawn to? And the reason that's an important question is because we are not walking around on the pages of a magazine. We're controlling a personal narrative about ourselves, everything from our respect for the values of our organization to our self-awareness. And what you carry best is actually what aligns best with you. So the clothes that you will look best in are the clothes that align best with your personality. And so that's dressing that builds your relationships, rapport, trust, and a sense of integrity as people understand who you are, to be consistent with the way that they've received you in your outfit. It's also style that you wear with ease, reducing the friction in your day. So who dresses better in high-profile outfits? It's the introvert or the extrovert who consistently conveys her personality through her style. She's the one who does that instant visual communication. And If you want the way to do that in the easiest way possible, you can work with me one-on-one, or if you would like to invest the time in learning how to style yourself from the boardroom to brunch, you can join me in my online program, and the links are in the description. I will look forward to seeing you about this time next week for my next live.